Okay.
I think that's important because that's actually one of the main reasons why people are not coming to your country, especially Americans, because American television is filled with scandals
I
from your
know.
country,
I
like
know.
cartels,
Yeah,
robberies, all that kind of stuff. So that's the only thing that I know about your country. But once you're living here, it's not like that. That's not the real Mexico, right? I mean, that exists in certain parts,
for
but
sure. But it's
you
not.
don't have that every day. Do you think that what the media is trying to do in the US reflects the reality of living in Mexico City? Or would you say that once you've gotten to know the city, it's actually much, much safer? What's your opinion on that? Because you've been living there for a few years now, so would like to hear what you have to say about that.
Sure. Well, first, I want to say, like, to everyone, don't be afraid to come to Mexico City. Mexico City is a beautiful place. All the Mexico is a beautiful place. And I think it's like everything, like when you go to whatever city in the world, they have like different places, right? So if you go at night at the most dangerous places, of course you're going to have trouble, and of course you're going to find situations you don't want to be in.
Right.
If you go, safety, and you do your research, and you go in like in the daylight, it's going to be fine. And me as a woman who lives here for at least 6 years now, I can say that it's safe. And of course, sometimes I feel like really, you can feel like kind of uncomfortable if you're like in a taxi cab and it's at night, and but it happens everywhere, I'm sure. But no, don't be scared to travel. Don't be scared to come here. It's really nice place, and we have like so much good people that would help you in every situation you have. If you're like in danger or something and you ask people like to help, even if you don't speak Spanish, people will like understand and trying to help you, so it's fine. Don't be so nervous about that, because it's not like that. It's fine.
It's fine. Well, that's good to know. I've been visiting Mexico City quite a few times, and I just stay in the typical foreign areas, right? The gringo areas. So when I say gringo areas, I'm talking about Roma Sur, Roma Norte, right? The obvious areas, the fancier ones, if you will. Now, I wanted to ask you about what neighborhoods are more dangerous in your opinion, because I've been
Yeah.
to Roma Sur and Roma Norte many times, and I didn't really feel unsafe, even when I walked my dog at like 1 a.m. in the morning or early morning, maybe like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I didn't really feel in danger at all. Um, so in my experience, right, I mean, it always depends on how you blend in. And I wanted to get your confirmation on this. You told me that if you're a woman, it's obviously a little bit trickier, especially when you want to get like a taxi, you want to get an Uber, right? So you definitely have to watch out for yourself more as a woman, right? And I definitely agree with you that that's the case everywhere. But now, if we take a look at Mexico City, what are some areas, some like districts where you would say, don't go there at night, or don't go there alone, or don't do this there, don't do that there? Are there any specific areas in Mexico City that you would suggest not visiting alone or not visiting during certain times?
Yeah, I will say just don't go there at night. I wouldn't say alone, because if you like, to be honest, right? If you want to know like the true Mexico, you can go to these places at a day, at the day, and very like being smart, right? If you go into that places with people is poor, and maybe, they steal or something to survive, you don't want to wear a Rolex, to go that places. It's like you just have to be smart, like be really simple and go. I've been doing that. Like, just I want to know my city, right? I want to know the people, what's going on, what's happening, and nothing happened to me. So I think it's really just about that. But I will say these places could be kind of, Tepito, this kind of central area from Mexico City, or we have to like Iztapalapa, which is really big, but it is really a place like it's just like this kind of situation that people are really poor in there, you know, so it's like they don't have like any option, and it's kind of sad. Yeah, I will say it's not really that bad, but of course you have to take care of yourself. So if you want to avoid like this kind of situation, just don't go. But if you like adventure and you want to know like the true Mexico and just know like the, you know, this touristy part, you should go on the day and just like have a look, and yeah, you should be fine.
Now, foreigners that are coming to Mexico City, a lot of them, they want to maintain their current lifestyle. Let's say they are from Europe, let's say they are from the US, you know, and they want to stay in an area where they have access to the things that they had access to back home, whether that's like franchises, right? Whether that's a higher standard of living, safety. So we're really considering all these factors. What would be some of the upscale neighborhoods in Mexico City where you would say, this is where the rich foreigners go, you know, when they're on vacation, or they'll also go there if they want to settle down? Where are those rich neighborhoods in Mexico City?
Well, that's a good question. I think we have two parts. One will be Polanco and Santa Fe, which is like the where all the richest people live, right? Even if they're Mexican or foreigners. But yeah, this is like the most high class we have here in Mexico City. And then we have like Roma Norte, Roma Sur, Condesa. You don't need to be necessarily so rich to live there, but it still is a really nice place. You have restaurants there, you have coffee shops there, you have a nice park when you can walk and be safe. I think this place is really, really nice to know people, because most of the kind of young people generation are living there, you know, so it's a nice vibe to live, to be honest. But if you want like high standards, you know, yeah, for sure it will be Polanco and Santa Fe. Santa Fe is a little bit Santa Fe is a little bit far away from all the Mexico City, but it's a really nice place. It's like a little city in the city, you know. It's like different. For example, I live in Coyoacan. Coyoacan is also a really nice place, really cultural, and we have like all really houses, really big, beautiful, you know. It's really nice, but it's like you know, in Mexico City you have this kind of tiny different worlds, right? So you have like a little New York City, which could be Santa Fe, and you have like a little town, which could be Coyoacan, and you have like, you know, like a different spectrals, like that all together makes this amazing city.
Obviously, what drives a lot of people to Mexico is also the dining experience, right? Especially the culinary diversity that you have in Mexico City. And if you've been to the Caribbean side of Mexico, you definitely know that there are some differences there. When I was there, you know, I first got there, I would say like 2021. You know, I've been coming to Mexico since 2019, but I first came to the Caribbean side in like 2021 because I was trying to get out of the bad weather and the COVID restrictions as well. So it fit my agenda pretty good, you know, the one that I had back there. So I achieved my goals. However, I thought that the food options on the Caribbean side were quite limited. Then when I came to Central Mexico, especially Mexico City, I was surprisingly happy with the food options available in that specific region of the country, because you have enchiladas, you have mole, huarache, pozole, and chilaquiles, you know, and
Yeah.
many more options, right? So where do you recommend that people go to eat in Mexico City? You know, are all these options, but like all these dishes available at any restaurant, or do they have to find a very specific area to have access to that kind of food, which is really hard to get on the Caribbean side?
Yeah, well, in the Caribbean side is like a limited, right? I was living there for a while, and I was like, you know, the tacos they're just not the same. Here in Mexico City, we have the best tacos, you know, and are the best. And I will say it's like just a lot of options, you know, you will find many places to go to eat. And even of course like Mexican food, you know, as you say, I can now you know a lot about Mexican food, like enchiladas and taco and mole and all of that. And these dishes are really special, and they're really nice taste. But yeah, in Mexico you can find a lot of restaurants to try that. You can find high quality and you can find like middle quality, and of course it's like with the price, right? Yeah, you will not struggle with that. Food is everywhere, and you know, if something we have in Mexico is like all the women knows how to cook very well. So it's like you're really gonna love it. And actually, if you're like a vegan or vegetarian people, you can find a lot of options too because now I think it's much more like normal, right? Than before. Used to be kind of really hard time to find this kind of dishes or this kind of restaurants to go. But right now is so easy, and you can find it everywhere.
My last question is, in terms of like culture and art, when we spoke last time, you were mentioning the art festival. You want to tell us a little bit more about this specific time of the year? Because I don't even know about that. You know, I've spent now about a year in Mexico, but I had no idea that a thing like art festival exists here.
Yeah, we have that. It's, you know, like they made this fashion week in, well, around the world. We have also fashion week here, and we have art week here too. So art week is like this week when all the artists got together and make like a big presentation in these like big places, huge places in Mexico City. So you can just go and you pay for a ticket, and you're available to see all the paintings, which are beautiful. You can buy directly to the artist, and you don't have to have any like intermediary to get the art. And it's really interesting. You can find like actually I was there like yesterday, and you can find like a lot of people who is not from here, like they're traveling or they're, you know, just living here, like trying Mexico City. And it's really nice because you just get to know more people, you know. We have like many different activities, you know, like about art, about anything. We have also like cinema festivals, which are like really huge too. And we have also in Morelia one of them, not here in Mexico City, but in Mexico City we also have many.
Well, this completes the call. So thank you for your time, and look forward to our next call, whenever that will be.
Thanks, Gerald. It will be a pleasure for me to have a next call with you.
Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm uploading new videos on digital nomad locations, travel updates, and investment advice several times a week right now. And if you got some more time left, check out these videos. Thank you for watching.